April 2023 video horoscope with me, Lada from Astrolada.com. Guys, April eclipse season starts. Wow, we're gonna have the first eclipse in Aries, the first with North Node since 18 years ago. So big shifts are about to happen, and we're gonna have the luckiest day of the year. Jupiter will join the Sun. For every one of us, some powerful new creative inspirational opportunity will appear that will make us feel more alive. We'll talk through all of that. And Mercury goes retrograde, but who cares? But the eclipses and Jupiter and the Sun. But before I start, I just want to let you know that this is my birthday month, and I only do once a year discount of almost 50% of all of my courses. Only my courses. It's not going to repeat again this year. I'm doing it just for my birthday month for 2-3 weeks. So if you'd like to learn any of my courses, I have foundational, short, long. I will put a link below to all my courses, so you can this is the last time I'm doing it this year, and possibly for years ahead, because I'm going to do a very different way. We're going to do a subscription from then on. So it's, so we'll see. So thank you so much. Let's begin the April 22 Sun, Moon, Rising, April 2023. Libra, the month starts with Saturn becoming visible. As we know from ancient astrology, these are very potent moments for about 2-3 weeks, when a planet is born, and Saturn is being born in your 6th house, and new beginnings will be laid there. And Saturn will stay in your 6th house, as you know, for 3 years almost, but now it's the first time it's going to be born. So sometime even in March and into April, you start building new foundations, because Saturn is the planet of building structures, routines, and habits that are more aligned to your health, because the 6th house is the house through which we maintain our health. Otherwise, health issues will appear. Saturn can also indicate the birth and the beginning of some chronic health issues or some inconveniences, physical, mental, and that show you how out of balance you are. So you can start building those structures Saturn demands you or would like you to build while it's in the 6th house. And those structures and routines are about how you eat, about how you exercise, about restricting certain indulgences, so you can maintain that body and have longevity, obviously. So that will be great time to start at the beginning of such building blocks. Plus, the 6th house is connected to work habits and routines, or your daily routines, your daily errands. Some new errands can appear for you, that extra responsibilities that you have to take on, or maybe a new job can appear for some of you, can be born as the birth of Saturn, which is more responsible, which is maybe more structured and organized, which is more like 9-to-5 type, or that might ask you to burn the midnight oil or put extra hours in, or some of you might take another job or something like that, or put certain rules and regulations down, start building them in regards to your work, in regards to your service that you do, how much you're gonna, and even if you're someone who stay at home and doesn't work, this is how you service of others that you give. So you can organize yourself, put some structures there, put some plan as well. Saturn likes to work with a schedule and a plan around such routines, whether it's your health routines, whether it's how you organize your whole day. Then the other big event is that there will be a full moon in your sign, Libra. So Libras, you will be illuminated. It's on the 6th of April, but you can feel it a few days before and 2 weeks after that. So they'll be focused on you. They'll be like me time, or your time. And for a few days, somehow the spotlight is on you. And you might see, for example, because full moon is about seeing consequences and results. And if they're good, you get some rewards. If not, you reconsider your actions. So it can be a bit of an emotional time, but where you complete something you've been working on for a while, you start seeing the results that are paying off for you, which can be great, because full moon is considered benefic in ancient astrology, where you reap what you have sown, or you see in some circumstances consequences of your previous actions and decisions that you've made that need readjustment. So that might be a little bit of a crisis, where you decide, where there's some kind of a dilemma you have to solve. But usually, you know, you kind of become more visible around that time. You kind of are some kind of a peak of a sort of activity, some kind of peak of ideas that is coming. And there is another thing, part of this new moon, this full moon, is that it's exactly opposite Chiron, and Chiron is conjunct the sun. And when we have a full moon with Chiron, that's very rare. Chiron is the wounded healer. So there is an opportunity here of some kind of healing that can happen. Of course, the wounded healer can do it through some first healing crisis that happens. Check out what a healing crisis is. It's a healing, but it involves a crisis. And it can involve your physical body, if it's your Ascendant is in Libra, or your astral body, your feeling, if it's your moon in Libra, your mental body, and vital body as well. The sun, moon, the Ascendant, the three of them are related to health on different levels. And so there can be some kind of a healing of a deep-seated wound or circumstance or situation in your life, because full moon is about releasing something, realizing something, becoming aware of something, and then releasing it. So that's one way it can play out. Plus, the full moon is also involves the seventh house where the sun is, because that's what a full moon is, where exactly Chiron is. There can be some healing crisis related also to relationships. If you've been having some wound connected to relationship, to how you think about others seeing you and how you interact with others, there can be again powerful illumination, powerful release of such kind of wounding. But they can, as I said, they can be a healing crisis, which can indicate some kind of crisis or situation in a relationship that brings this awareness to you and allows for the healing to happen. Then the next big event that is happening is that on the 11th, the Sun and Jupiter will meet together. In astrology, it's called the happiest, luckiest day, because the two giants, gas giants, and the two most powerful and benefic planets in our solar system, the Sun, which gives life and creates something new, creates life, and Jupiter, which is again that gives wisdom and vision and blessings from the angelic realms. The Sun is the divine realms, Jupiter is the angelic realms. So those two incredibly powerful, the biggest bodies in our solar system, and the most powerful consciousness influence on us, because each planet and sun and planet has a consciousness of its own. They're beings, they have certain vibrations. They're beings that also live on them, whether we see them or not, not necessarily in physical bodies, but they also emit certain vibrations and consciousness. So those two powerful energies combine in your seventh house. It's not only on the 11th of April that you're going to feel this. I say the whole month. It's this activation of the Sun and Jupiter because they're close to each other. So expect the whole month, maybe with the peak around the 11th, but some new birth to happen. There's a new cycle of the Sun and Jupiter that is beneficial, that is inspirational, that is creative, that gives you the power to co-create your reality and to be inspired. And it's connected to relationships. Some powerful new beginnings can happen for you. For example, some of you might meet someone important in their life. It might be a figure of esteem or power or benevolence that wants to help you, a figure of worldly power as well, worldly knowledge, a lot of knowledge or power that is important to you in some way. It can be a personal relationships for some of you, a cycle in a personal relationship that happens with it can be with a friend, but again, someone that brings a lot of good things to you. Light, knowledge, inspiration, creativity, opportunities. Or it can be a personal, not just friendship, but it can be meeting someone important in your life, as I said, but it can also be a personal relationship, like meeting a good karmic, dharmic, as they call it, partnership. I'm not saying that all Libras will meet the love of their life or something like that, but there is a possibility that for some of you that it's activated, especially those middle degrees, 14, 15, 16 to 20 degrees. It's very powerful there. Another way is that something good can come to you from others, like an opportunity, or if you're married or in a relationship, something wonderful can happen in your relationship. or with your partner, some new opportunity can come. They can, or if they've been feeling down, or somehow they can feel uplifted. They can some new chances and happiness can come to you through them. Plus, you can see them improve if they've had some health issues, so you can see them uplift themselves and feel more positive. And they can become a source also of inspiration for you. So other people can reach out, or you reach out or hand to them proactively, because these blessings are coming to you from another, whether it's your partner, whether it's a client, whether it's a friend, whether it's just another person. Also, if you're someone who is in business, it can be the birth of new beginnings, powerful developments through clients to attract more clients, your product to reach more people. Seventh house is also popularity and one of the houses of fame. So Jupiter and the Sun there, it can, I'm not saying all Libras will become famous, but definitely they'll become more popular. They'll be more social, more communicative this month. There'll be new social interactions that come to you. There can be some great moments with partners as well. And you can do something. You can start some project with a partner or with another person. That can be a source of blessings for a long time. That can be a source of inspiration. You can do something healing together. You can do something business or whatever, but that's inspiring to both of you. So yeah, that's how this combination can play out. Of course, you can attract very hot-headed people, because it's the Sun and Jupiter. They both have fiery energy, kind of powerful, demanding divas. Oh, they take up all the space, but they can be definitely fascinating. And then after that, we have another important event. It's eclipse, again in your 7th house. Who will feel it the most? This is the first eclipse this year, guys. Eclipse season is starting, and it's directly influencing you. But especially those Libras that are the last 5 degrees, 25 to 30 degrees, will feel it. The Libras are kind of a bit out of the intensity of the eclipse. And so if you have your Sun, Moon, or Ascendant 25 to 30 degrees, this can be a pivotal time that indicates that sometime in the next sometimes in the next 6 to 12 months, this is the duration of an eclipse, there'll be life-changing developments. Usually coming to you again is the 7th house through a relationship. Because the eclipse is with the North Node, which is to gain something, it can mean like a big fated event coming in regards to a relationship partner. Usually it's to gain something through partnership, or to gain a partner, or to change your relationship circumstances in a big way. But sometimes it can be, even with the North Node, it can be like a big shift in your status, a relationship status, from single to married, from married to divorced, from some big kind of shift you can expect there. Also, overall in your social life, because it's the 7th house, is not just your marriage and personal relationship. It can be some big important shifts that are starting to happen, because now eclipses for the next 2 years will be on the axis of Libra and Aries. So some of the biggest fated events, and they usually come fast, and they usually are sometimes overwhelming, can be very exciting as well, but these shifts come. So depending what is it you have in Libra, if it's your Ascendant, definitely relationships, and your personal life are very much affected, and your personal decisions, something big changes through relationships again, or through another person. If it's your Ascendant, if it's your Sun that is in Libra, usually it can be directly connected to your health, directly connected to your vitality, directly connected to important men in your life, because the Sun rules men, and directly connected to career and goals and personal drives and ambitious, big fated shifts there. Usually with the North Node, I think it's like a gain of something growing bigger, getting bigger positions, and so on. And if it's your Moon in Libra, it can be something in your personal life, like birth of a child, family member, something, place of living, emotional relationships as well. And again, health, always. With an eclipse, always around the time, around the 20th of April, be a bit more careful about your health. Always like those couple of years and a half, like when the eclipses are happening on your axis, everyone of Libra and Aries should be a bit more aware of health. But there's again this big focus that things come to you from, there is this opposition that's coming to you, and oppositions is others. You're triggered, you're activated by others, by some external circumstances that are fated, that are big, that will take you in a new direction, because it's a new moon, new powerful beginnings with North Node, again, new material manifestation. And it's square Pluto, by the way, this eclipse, exactly square it. So it can start through some kind of crisis that you're pushed into those changes. That can be very good eventually. So yeah, and then on the next day after the eclipse, Mercury is turning retrograde in your 8th house. So from the middle of March, of April, till the middle of May in particular, but let's say almost all of April and all of March, Mercury will stay for a long time in your 8th house. It indicates a big focus possibly on things like finances, organizing mutual finances, planning and organizing expenses if you're a family together, or if you have investments of some sort, some changes, some shifts there, some alternative methods, re-examining something, some extra documents that are missing you have to add, or dealing with things like insurances, inheritances, or it can mean dealing with hidden assets of any sorts and hidden money and anything to do with taxes, again, as I said, or revising your family budget or mutual budget or your pension or your investments. Some changes there as well. On a more spiritual level, the 8th house is the house of psychology, is the house of intimacy. There can be some important conversations, because Mercury is planet of communication, focus on intimacy, on sexuality, focus on trust, focus on mutual give and receive, how much you give, how much you receive in the relationships, whether it's sex, whether it's money, whether it's support. And of course, when Mercury is retrograde, it can happen through some kind of a little kind of crisis that leads you to those important deep psychological conversations. Also, it can be time to research something, to study, to dig deep under the surface, to delve into topics like psychology, self-observation, self-research, exploring the past traumas if you work with a psychologist, or if you work with an astrologer or someone that can help you explore the subconscious. There can be some powerful revelations and abilities to reprogram the mind and how you think about past traumas, because Mercury goes retrograde. You can remember past traumas or past kind of things that disrupt the flow of energy in you, the flow, and just by talk therapy or just by remembering it, you can release it somehow and you can reframe it. That's retrograde planet, to reframe it, to see it from a different perspective. Okay, so yes, these are some of the things you might be dealing with. It can be great to research and study topics like astrology, or delve into. You can receive some information that is secret. You can receive more confidential information about something that has happened in the past. Plus, you might talk with your partner. There can be themes that come up that you are revising about. Not only your mutual finances, your trust, but things from the past that are regarding more private, more sensitive topics, so to speak. And on another level, Mars will be in your 10th house the whole month and continues into May. Finally came out at the 9th house, but it's kind of a bit more stressful period, because Mars will be squaring a certain period, maybe for around 5-6 days. Everyone will feel it your side, so that can feel a little bit that you're being triggered, especially by father figures, authority figures, people in power, police or governments and such kind of bosses. But the good thing is that you'd feel more initiative yourself. You'd find yourself more driven to achieve, more active publicly, more involved in getting things done. So this is for you, Libras. Thank you so much. And yes, if you want to learn and study with me, I'm putting the link below for the only time I do a big discount for all my courses. Thank you.